Hello, seventh graders. I am going to do a video today about vocabulary for our current unit, adversity. Sorry, that took a minute for it to come up. So our current unit is all about adversity, and we're going to do some vocabulary. I'm going to walk you through the vocabulary, and as you listen and watch the video, I'd like you to fill out the worksheet that goes along with this video. All right, we're going to get started. So our first word is adversity. This is the word that is the name of our unit. So adversity means difficulties, challenges, and misfortune. Some examples of adversity are a fire, a flood, or death, war, moving to a new place. There's a lot of examples of adversity. And please answer your question on the paper and follow along. Our second word is conflict. This is an open clash or problem between two opposing groups. As you can see in the picture, some people are saying yes, while some people are saying no. These are opposing groups fighting about something. Some examples of conflict could be fight between friends or family members, war, or a divorce, anything like that. Please feel free to stop the video as you go if you need some more time to fill in your worksheet. Our next word is Darfur. So this is the setting where Kek lives. This is an impoverished region of Western Sudan. In this picture, you can see where Darfur is. It is in the western part of Sudan. In this picture, you can see some people protesting the war in Darfur. Our next word is Sudan. This is a republic in northeastern Africa on the Red Sea. So we see in this picture Sudanese flag, and in this picture we can see where Sudan is in the grand scheme of Africa. You can see that South Sudan is under Sudan. The next word is Africa, which you should know very well. This is the second largest continent in the world, and here's a picture of what it looks like and the shape of the country or the continent as well. Village is our next word. This is a settlement smaller than a town. You can see an African village in this picture. I believe that Danville is also known as a village because it's smaller. It may be also a town, but I think it's pretty small, so it could probably be considered a village as well. The next word is region. This is the extended spatial location of something. In this picture, you can see that there are 6 regions of the African Union. You can see North, West, Central, East, South, and the diaspora. Our next word is tribe. This is a social division of people. There are many different tribes in Africa. One of them is called the Dinka. There are many more, and usually they have traditional clothes that they wear or traditions that they share within a tribe. Genocide. This is a sad one. The genocide is a systematic killing of a racial or cultural group, and the Darfur conflict and the Holocaust are examples of genocide. Famine is an extreme scarcity of food. You can see these people waiting in line with some bowls for some food. When there isn't enough food in an area for the amount of people there, what happens is a famine. A rebel is someone who exhibits independence in thought or action. They usually go against the government. You can see the symbol for rebel on this page, and you can also see some of the rebels in Darfur going against the government. Liberation means the act of freeing someone or something. So, for instance, some countries get liberated from being controlled by other countries. Justice is the quality of being fair, reasonable, or impartial. So on this, you can see 2 pictures of the law. The point of courts and the law system is to make sure that people get the right consequences for their actions and crimes. And we've got this here that also shows justice. The United Nations, which is something that has come up in some of our videos, is an organization of independent states formed in 1945 to promote international peace and security. You can see this is their logo, United Nations. This is what a United Nations meeting might look like. And this is the United Nations building with all the different flags of the world out front. An immigrant is a person who comes to a country in order to settle there. So in this picture, we have some people moving to a new place. And in this picture, we have some people protesting against immigration laws, stating that we are all immigrants, which is technically true because the Native Americans were in America first, and our relatives all immigrated from somewhere else, most of us from Europe. An emigrant is a person who leaves their own country in order to settle permanently in another. So I was confused about the difference here. So an immigrant is someone that has settled, and an emigrant is someone that is in the process of settling. So you can see this person is moving away from France, Paris, France. They're on their way. A refugee is an exile who flees for safety from their country. They may be escaping persecution for religion or from war, escaping death, something like that. They usually are looking for better conditions in a new country, such as America. So in one picture, we have this woman outside of some tents. They're obviously traveling, and in the other, we have a raft full of people that are refugees running away from a country. Resettlement means the settlement of people in a different place. So you can see these people are walking to a new place, and you can see this is kind of a makeshift village that has been propped up out of some tents and smaller buildings. So they are resettling in a different place. A proverb is something that comes from Home of the Brave. So you guys notice that there are 4 or 5 parts in Home of the Brave, and each starts with a proverb. So these are short sayings that are widely used to express an obvious truth. So these are like universal truths. So some of them are you can't judge a book by its cover, 2 wrongs don't make a right. There are also many in the book as well. There is one about spiders uniting to create a web that traps a lion. And there are some others in the book as well. I'm going to have you grab a Home of the Brave book for this one and write down one of the proverbs from the book. So you will need to go grab a book and you will need to write down one of the proverbs from one of the parts of the book now. The next one, you guys should know this one really well. These are idioms. An idiom is a common expression that means something different than the literal meaning of the words. So we have a lot of these in the book. So when one of the characters tells Gonwar he needs to get his feet wet, or no, he tells Keck, Dave tells Keck that he needs to wait to get his feet wet. That means he needs to get used to something. And then there was another one where Gonwar told Keck, these kids will eat you alive. Keck thought he meant they would really eat him alive. They wouldn't. It just means they would make fun of him. So please write down one from the book, and then also I'm going to ask you to write down one of these from below. So to be under the weather means to feel ill, and the cat is out of the bag means that a secret or the truth has come out about something. Scarred, this is not to be confused with scared, is to be marked with scars or to be emotionally damaged. So in the book, Gonwar is an example of a character who has some actual scars on his body. He is missing a hand, and he also has the gar across his forehead, which is the 6 scars across his forehead that symbolizes manhood. And I would say Gonwar, Natal, Keck's aunt, and Keck are all emotionally scarred from what happened in Darfur. A foster is affording, receiving, or sharing nurture or parental care through though not related by blood or legal ties. So a foster family is someone that steps in for someone that does not have biological parents. It is kind of the step before adoption usually. But in the story, Hannah, Keck's friend, has a foster mother that she lives with. Natural resources are raw materials found in nature, including oil, gold, salt, or lumber. They are often suitable for transformation or manufacturing, and you can see some of the examples below. I'd like you to write down at least 2 or 3 of the examples from this slide. Human resources are human efforts such as physical labor or mental ability used to produce goods and services. So things that are made by people. So we've got like electronics, cell phones, TVs, anything like paper related or scissors, rugs, baseball mitts, sports equipment, all that stuff is all human resources. Human rights are the basic rights and freedoms to which all people are entitled as human beings, as defined by United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And we have some of the human rights below here. So if you could write down a couple of them, people are entitled to education, food, shelter, free speech, equality, all that. To colonize is when a group of people establish political, social, and economic control over a place. The group also exploits or uses a place for one's own benefits. So you can see this guy reaching out over Africa and taking over. And then this is a picture of Africa with the flags of who has colonized each part of it. A civil war is a war between people of the same country. So this has happened in America, it has happened in Africa, and also other places. So that is the end of the slideshow. Please make sure to go through and answer all of the questions. If there's anything else that you need to add to it, please do so and make sure you pass in your worksheet to Ms. Settles or a sub if there is one. Great work, and let me know if you need any help. Thanks for listening and watching. Good job.